Deepika, technology was invented for people to overcome the problems that already existed in the society. The solution for the society in a better, a shorter, and an efficient way. Technology was never created for people to become dependent on it. The sole purpose for the technology was to make people advanced and not dependent on it. What we need to understand is that by giving out these kinds of technology, we're making women dependent, and on top of that, we're making society dependent on these types of technology, which will really hamper the society in the long run, which we need to really understand. Why was these kind of technology even created? The basic modality. It is for the women who are sterile, for the women who are biologically unfit, because that was what it's technology. Every technology comes up with a problem. Because there existed a problem in society, scientists decided to loosen the problem and to place women in a better place. That is why this technology was prepared for it. It was not for the women to have an easier way out. Like I mentioned before, technology was never meant for people to be rejected. Technology was never meant for people to be dependent on it, and that is why I say it was not for the women to have an easier way out of this one. Yes, we understand giving birth is tremendously difficult, but don't you think that difficulty and pain that women go through is the thing that makes women who they are? It is worth it. After the long 9 months endurance, what is there? A baby, a cute little baby from your womb that you can really care for the rest of your life and can depend on it. Rejected. Three things in my debate, three things in my speech will I be tackling with. Number one, the government's aspect. Number two, the women's aspect. And number three, the baby's aspect. Now, how do we tackle the government's aspect? Yes, rejected. Yes, we agree. Funding could not be a problem because the organization rejected, because the NGOs and GOs will be funding the government. But that is not for a short term. One day, a woman comes up and says, I want to have this technology. Tomorrow, the other might come. Maybe in a week or later, the entire country's women will come. It is a slippery slope. This way, we see the government fluing its money, throwing it out of the box without any reason, rejected, without any reason to have it spent in a good purpose. Yes, there will be some help to the people out there, but it is not necessarily important to make them dependent on what is not really important right now. Now, how do we look from the women's perspective? What do you think when you think of a woman? You think of endurance. You think of women to be the ones who are naturally fit for this job. We are not respecting the biology here. We're not respecting the entire concept of nature here, because that is what women were created for. We exist right now because of our mothers, and we are going to use this technology. We would never be here. And if you're just going to continue arguing about the fact that women will have an easier way out, you're just doing nothing but blabbering about things and not respecting your mother itself. Rejected. Respect from where you came from, and then come up here and talk about. Think of your mother and just reject it. How ironic of the Prime Minister to come up here and talk about respecting the right to live. Children will reject it. Children will still have the right to live even if they come out of the mother's womb. Does not necessarily mean they should have the right even if they came out of the technology, which is really stupid. Yes, we support technology. We were never against government bringing these new technology. We even agree that government should encourage the use of these technologies. But what our major concern over here is that why should it even make compulsory? Why should it even make people go out there and do it? Why should it make the government just hang over there and do things which are not supposed to be done? The Prime Minister completely ignored the fact when we asked a POI about the child's perspective, which is a really important thing to tackle. Rejected. Studies in Oxford showed that babies who grow outside the mother wombs have lower intellectual and cognitive abilities, plus the health of the baby is not as well as the ones conceived naturally and normally. Plus, they lack emotional attachment. Rejected. Emotional attachment is the major thing that keeps us humans. We are humans because we have emotions. And if you're going to let these technologies play with your emotions, you're doing nothing but disrespecting whatever is coming out there in the society. Yes, the economic disparity could be removed, but we We are talking about the welfarism in the long run. Removing disparity in a short term will not support the welfarism in a long run. And it turns out to be a business. One day, one may come, the other day, the other might come, and the next day, millions of women may have this. Even the women without any abilities to do so, it will turn out eventually the most precious thing in the world, that is birth, will be turning to business. And we can imagine nothing but bad when things turn out to be business. People will thinking about how to make more profit, and we are just disrespecting everything that's going on over here. And also, how you come up here and talk about how rejected, okay, accepted.
Ma'am, if that Oxford guy tells that there is an emotional attachment, then how...
Rejected, sit down, your POI is really stupid. You know, we have to focus from the baby's aspect also. We just cannot ignore the major stakeholder, because this is what we're talking about. And if we are going to have a world where people are full of disabilities, it may hamper, like you said, the the overall development of the nation in the long run. We just think about it. And it also hampers feminism in a way. You talk about feminism. Feminism teaches women to be strong. Feminism teaches women to be strong, endure everything that's on their way. When you're talking about women giving them easier way out to have birth, you're disrespecting the entire base of feminism. Understand the meaning of feminism when you come up here and talk to a girl who is herself a feminist. And it hampers the whole concept of empowerment in the long run. Empowerment is done to make women know, because they are the ones who continue the lines of generations. And when you come up here and talking about how it will, 9 months would be a productive time for women to do things, it is just nuisance. How can you just go up here? Well, now, let me just question you this. Do you think your mother wasted your time giving birth to you because she wasted 9 months of her life keeping you in her womb? You're indirectly blaming your mother, and you're just doing something that's really stupid over here. And that is what makes us women. We love our babies, and that is why we do not want. And the opening part of the house just focused about finance, economy, and stuff like that, which is already being tackled. It could be a slippery slope, and we need to really understand that. And the major part of the debate should be concerning about how this will affect feminism itself, and how emotionally we should tackle this problem, because it's really important right now. I hope the whip does a better job in this one. Thank you very much. We've never been proud of this.